Hi guys, it's Chelsea and Miss Kelly Dental here. We know that a lot of stuff has been going on in your life lately as well as our own, and so we wanted to touch base on personal development and things that you can read to be able to enhance your business and your personal life as well. So we want to give you guys some book ideas. At first we started off with I was going to cover three and she was going to cover three, and then I started going through my little collection that I had, and I was like, no, this one and this one and this one. So there's just so many, and you don't have to read them all on the same day or anything like that, but we want to give you guys options to be able to help grow as individuals and also in your business. So they say that the average person reads one book a year, and so we're going to try and make you not average. So you're not going to be normal. You're going to read more. And you don't have to have them in physical book form. You can do it on ebooks, whatever is easiest for you. But we're going to give you some easy reads. So what do you want to add to that, Cal?
Well, then I just have to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching this. This already makes you more above average than the average Joe or Jane just by watching this video. So I want to welcome you guys with a big hug and positive vibes. That's definitely a big thing for me. I am definitely above average because I go through a lot of books like you have no idea. I'm such a voracious reader, and that's one of my favorite words to use is voracious.
Awesome.
And facetious is another one. Even when I don't know how to pronounce the word, I try to use different words that I learned, and I don't make fun of anybody that mispronounces a word, because then that means that they've read it somewhere, and that means that they're reading. And I am such a huge supporter of any type of reading, whether it's the Bible, whether it is self-development books, fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, even the Harlequin novels. It doesn't matter. You're reading, and that is such a way to expand your mind. Last week I posted a little video about how we were going to go over the different self-development books and self-help books to help stay motivated. So Chelsea and I are doing the video now to talk about that.
And there's nothing wrong with the self-help section at the bookstore. So if you walk in that section and you feel like you're being judged, judge them for not being in that section with you.
Exactly.
No judgment. But still, I was always kind of afraid to walk in that section just because I don't like when people judge me, which is really ironic because I don't care either at the same time. But just do it. If you feel compelled to get a book to be able to give you your mojo back, do what you got to do. Put some sunglasses on, get your hater shades on, so that way you're not focused on other people. You're focused on zeroing in on that perfect book for you. So.
Mm-hmm. Also, for me, I haven't stepped foot in a bookstore for a while. My stuff is all on my little nook, and that's how I read on there. So I used to do my team calls and my team videos with notes. I would write notes out, and then lately I've been trying to wing it, but this really struck a chord with me, so I actually typed out some notes. So I don't know if you want to go first, Chelsea, or if you want me to go first. It's totally up to you.
You go ahead, and I'll just branch off. I like playing it by ear.
Okay, so like I said last week, we were talking about finding books to use for self-development and how to stay motivated. Well, we definitely want to continue on this and really help kick our butts into gear to having a September to remember. Now, if anybody is following Mark Pentecost, you realize in a post that he made just a couple hours ago, instead of saying two as in T-O, it was two.
Like the number.
September to remember.
Say it in Spanish. Dos.
Dos. The only time I do that is when I say I'll have a Dos Equis.
2 beers.
Okay.
Dave's gonna like that one.
My notes. You can start out with nothing, and out of nothing, out of no way, a way will be made. And that is from the Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. He's a former drug enthusiast turned spiritual enthusiast turned inspirational badass. And that is the opening quote to You Are a Badass. And I'm going to show you the cover of this book.
It is awesome. It like
is
you will get sucked into it.
Yes.
I have that one on an ebook, but for the most part, I love having a book in my hands. But yes. And then there's more words on it, but because it's not focusing very well, that's basically what we're going to give you to go off of the title. There you go.
And you can kind of read it there. Okay. Now, if you're watching this video, I will say this. You have some desire and motivation to better yourself. So, which means you are more open to the writer of this book. And
you're a badass already.
Exactly. And Jen Sincero is the writer, Sincero. This is actually her opening for the book. And she says, I used to think quotes like this were a bunch of crap. I also didn't understand what the hell they were talking about. I mean, not that I cared. I was too cool. What little I knew about the self-help spiritual world, I found to be unforgivably cheesy. It reeked of desperation, rah-rah churchiness, and unwanted hugs from unappealing strangers. And don't even get me started on how grouchy I used to be about God. So now I will be the first to admit that I fell into this is me now, not the author. I will be the first to admit that I fell into this category, and I still can fall into that category. I'm all about the positive quotes and positive energy, but it takes me a lot to read about self-help and spiritual journeys. I would much rather go through Google and type in positive motivational quotes and look through those than to take a book and read it. I am more into reading fiction novels myself. My viewpoint on God may be different than yours, and I won't get into it, but I will say I do believe in a higher power, and I love anyone that is passionate about their faith. That is definitely something that I will never belittle someone on.
I'm going to side note that and say that this is also a good motivational book, which is going to be just your Bible in general. So whether you read one or not, this is just another one. Like we said, we want to put some motivational, inspirational, personal development books in front of you. So if you're not religious, that's fine. If you are religious, just know that that is still a book that you can reach out to and read. And whether it's just Googling how you feel for that day, and I'm not going to lie, that's how I am. If I'm feeling anxious, if I'm feeling depressed, angry, hurt, upset, happy, sad, anything like that, then I Google those feelings and what verses go along with it, and then go from there. Or sometimes I just open it up and look and just see what's in front of me for that day. So we wanted to touch base on that because it is a faith-based company, whether you as an individual are spiritual in that way or not. No, there's no judgment, absolutely none whatsoever. So, but we do want to just remind you that that book is always there for you as well.
Yes. Now, to get into the self-development of your business, I believe it is essential to take at least 10 minutes of your day to work on you and to keep motivated and inspired. At least 10 minutes.
How many? 10 minutes.
And that's, it doesn't even have to be uninterrupted. I feel it should be uninterrupted, but if you have kids and your self-help time is when you go poop and you close the door to keep your kids out, well,
that doesn't even keep them out, but
no, it doesn't.
Keep them out.
Exactly. And 10 minutes alone in the bathroom seems like heaven, but then you kind of get worried when your kids are silent.
Yeah.
You know, when kids are quiet, they're up to something. 10 minutes.
That's life right there.
10 minutes in a kid's world, they can do so much in 10 minutes. Yeah. But anyways, at least 10 minutes a day. And there are several ways that you can actually do this. You can reach out to like a book club on Facebook, or even go to the local library, the local bookstores, and see about book clubs there. There's always postings, either on Facebook or actually at the library, at the bookstores, anything like that. If you go to church, then, you know, I'm sure there's some sort of...
We actually have a bookstore within our church that has books in there too, so I thought that was really cool too.
That is awesome. That is. And what a great way to work on self-development and build your network.
And so I want to build off of that too, is that people are like, oh, you know, self-development, I don't have time for that, yada, yada, yada. But you have to look at yourself as a bucket of water. Okay? So you have, you are a bucket of water. Okay? And say Kelly's bucket is empty. So I'm going to go and I'm going to fill up Kelly's bucket. I have enough water to give her. I have enough personal development. I have enough strength, motivation, positivity, just enough within me to be able to fill her up. Now, without personal development, my bucket's empty. So I can't fill up Kelly if I'm not filled up myself. So if I'm empty, she's empty too. So that's what personal development is putting water in your bucket. Or if you don't want to be water and you want to be like dollar bills or some diamonds or something, then you can be that too. But you have to be filled up before you can fill somebody else up.
Exactly. That is so true. And so that's another important reason to work on the self-development part. So you can Google self-help quotes. You can ask friends and family and coworkers for recommendations. You can see what's on the bestsellers list for books. Go on the internet. You can YouTube it. You can watch listen to audiobooks.
Or you can hear our recommendations.
Yes, exactly. You can even go to success.com and look up their recommendations and their articles. And that is a great resource for you to learn more about applying different things to your life and to your business. Now, I will admit that I received a $150 credit on my Nook because of a settlement of some lawsuit that apparently was ongoing that I had no clue of.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't suing Nook. But anyways, for whatever reason it was, I got a $150 credit, and so I've used up a pretty good amount of that credit to get several self-help and spiritual and inspirational books to help.
Send me your Nook account.
I know. Girl, I will give you my book account, and you will see I have literally hundreds.
You won't see me for days. What are you doing?
Right? I have so many books. So another thing that I wanted to touch on with this self-development is this will help with your discipline to work your business, to help stick to a routine for losing weight or working out, or, you know, if you feel like you need to be a better mom, need to be a better wife, need to be a better self, you know, to help find your identity. Having the discipline to commit to doing self-development for at least 10 minutes a day, that will help you have the discipline in other areas of your life, which will greatly improve your chances for success in all the areas of your life. So my 3 recommendations for self-help, they are: you are a badass.
Who, me?
Yes, you are. And this is how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. And that's by Jen Sincero. and I'm actually going to do screenshots and post them in the comments below this video link. Another one is, this one I haven't read yet, but I definitely recommend it. It is Everything is Possible by Jen Bricker. And she, as you can look and see there, she doesn't have any legs. But the little thing here, it says, finding the faith and courage to follow your dreams. So I'm just really excited. That actually just came out and I was able to download it. Another one is actually a recommendation by Joel and Stephanie Dunn. #1 income earners in the company, just saying. And their recommendation is H3 Leadership, Be Humble, Stay Hungry, Always Hustle. And that's by Brad Lomenick. Okay, and that's actually something that really touches upon how to work for your business as well, not just helping stay self-motivated and help with your inner self there. So those are my 3 recommendations, and I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's my turn. So the Humble Hungry Hustle one, I haven't read that one yet, and I had that on my list to read, and so you just reminded me of that one. That's I need to go to Barnes & Noble now. So I am more of, I do have some on my, I guess it would be like a Kindle type thing. It's an Amazon account where I get the books through, so I think it's Kindle. It's like the Kindle app. And so I have some books on there for when I just can't get to the store and get a book, but I know my state of mind when I need a book right then and there. Because there's times in your life that you're going to feel like your world is falling apart, that you're going to feel like, at least for me, so I'm speaking on my behalf, but I'm going to say like you. So you're going to feel like you're worthless, like you don't mean anything, and you feel like you have no value. And so when I felt like that, I was recommended to read the You Are a Badass book. And so I couldn't wait to get to a store. I couldn't wait till the next day. It was 10 o'clock at night when someone had recommended it to me. And so I just needed it right away. And so I had Kindled it, and it was like $9 or something like that. And which isn't bad, because a lot of bookstores, they're like $15, $20, $25, $30. Mm-hmm. I know that can be a lot of money, especially when you're being a baller on a budget. So I try to get the, quote, cheap books, but they're not cheap quality books. They're really books that are going to just impact you hard, and they're easy reads. Now, You Are What You Think, this one's going to be more for, who is this by? I'm sorry. David Stoop. This one's going to be more for the inside, what you think about on a daily basis. For me, it's a little bit harder of a read just because this little side note, the words are really tiny. So it was kind of hard getting through it just because I felt like I was straining my eyes, but that's a personal issue. But that one's good because your thoughts become your actions. So if you have Netflix, go watch The Secret on Netflix.
Oh, God, yes.
That will just completely, if you're not into reading books right now, but you need a personal development and you have an hour, even if you don't watch it, just listen to it. Because there's times where I just load up Netflix on my phone, put on The Secret, and I just listen to it. Because I'm a visual, but I can also learn by hearing as well. And so just listening to it helps a lot. So The Secret on Netflix, do that. This one, I was having a really hard time, and if you can, you will. It's so when I started doubting myself, when I started believing, at one point I thought, oh, I can do anything, and then I thought, I can't do that. What am I thinking? And so you can, you will. So you just need to believe that you can. This is by Joel Osteen. I know he's a really well-known person. And then 2 by John Maxwell. So whether you're wanting to improve you're always going to be improving yourself, but you can focus on the areas that you want to improve on. So say you think, oh, I love myself, there's nothing wrong with me, but I need to improve this part about me. So Leadership 101, you can tell that I've actually used these books, you guys. But this one's John C. Maxwell. Amazing, gives you just tips and tricks on how to be a leader and instead of being a manager. Because managers really just do this, do that, do this, do that. And leaders are, hey, watch this, follow me, do what I do, and we'll do it together. So just on how to be a better leader, and then make today count, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Same author, John Maxwell. And this has really good just little tidbits and stuff that every once in a while just post little bits and pieces of the book onto Facebook as a status. And you never know whose day it's going to brighten. Even though it was meant for you, it could brighten someone else's day. And then, I'm sorry, I had more than 3 books. I told you I couldn't stop. So 2 more and then I'm done. So this
I'm going to interrupt really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So right here on Nook, Leadership 101 is $6.99.
Oh, sweet.
And there's a Self-Improvement 101.
I paid $10. There's a whole bunch of these mini books just like this. See the size? They're miniature versions, so they're a lot cheaper than the rest of the books, but there's a lot of good content in it. So there's a bunch of 101 books that are amazing.
There is the complete 101 collection on Nook for $9.99.
Seriously? Mind blown. Well, I know what I'm going to be doing later.
I just purchased it, so I'll be sharing that with you.
Thanks. Rub it in. Okay. So this one is kind of a 2-part book. This is the second book. I actually lent out the first one. The first one was given to me at my very first leadership retreat with Joel and Stephanie, which are, like Kelly said earlier, the #1 money earners in the company. And they're just amazing. They pour into us and they give us the tools that we need to succeed, but also to dig deeper within ourselves and in our personal life. So the first book is actually a red cover, if that helps, by Bob Berg and David Mann, and it's called The Go-Getters. And so this one's The Go-Givers Sell More. And so you would think that it would teach you like all these things on, okay, when you're going to make a sale, you're going to say this. And it's not, none of these are like that. It's all how to improve you and how to make people want you and then want your product. And so I think that's just amazing. And it's in like storyteller form. So it's not like you need to do this and you need to do that, because I just do not learn that way.
Yeah, I don't either.
Last, I was going to save the Bible for last, but Kelly touched base on that sooner than I thought. So now my last but not least, this is actually one of my favorites that I just keep reading over and over and over. And the very first time I read it, I signed up over 20 people. And I want to say it was in March or May. It was one of the M months. And so that was one of my biggest months ever, because I stayed true to me, stayed true to myself. And the author of this book is actually one of my customers, and she is in New Zealand. And so it's by Jody Jealous, and it's Lady Balls. And so at the bottom, I can't read backwards, but it says, live your ultimate lifestyle and build a business you freaking love just by being you. So if you are not the kind of person that likes to read books where people are being themselves and saying like, I get a little feel. She's like, don't feel like you need to compromise who you are because you have an asshole for a customer. Like, that's who she is. This is how she talks. She's amazing. She has that really cool accent and everything, if you watch her YouTube videos and stuff. But she's really amazing, and it's just a really easy read. I mean, there's not a lot to it. But our power went out one night, and I actually read this in under like 2 hours. So easy read, good books. You have a lot to choose from now. And if books just so don't happen to be your thing, there's a really cool thing called Books on Tape.
Yes.
So you can listen to them that way. Or other personal development things that I do, like while I get ready in the morning, I just put on YouTube and I just listen to different leaders. So not just from It Works, but I just all over just any successful person. I hear what they have to say. Do I implement every single tool that they teach? No. But it pumps me up and it motivates me, because in the things that they're saying is, you can do anything. You're going to dominate this. You're going to do this. You are awesome. Just hearing someone saying that, and if you're really tuned in and you're really willing to accept what they're saying, you're going to feel like they're specifically talking to you. At least that's how I feel. And so that's what pushes me and motivates me, because when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have someone there every single day saying, yay, good job, so proud of you for submitting that paper today, so proud of you for handing out that postcard. You are the person that's in charge of doing that for you. Yes, your sponsor will come in every so often and say, hey, I noticed you've been doing this, 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 and this lately. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. Keep it up. Can't wait to see you at the top, things like that. But your sponsor is not there to do everything for you. They're there to be able to inspire you. They're going to lead from the front. They're going to show you how to get shit done and, teach you the ins and outs, but they're not there to do it for you. So action is going to come from you and motivation is going to come from you. But inspiration is where you're going to learn from other people. So that's a huge thing to remember too.
Yes. Well,
I think we covered it, huh?
yeah, we pretty much did. That's awesome. I think I really like that we both had different books to offer. And I hope that anyone who's watching this, you actually, if you don't have any of the books, then you get at least one of them, and you try and give it a try.
Never hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
And if you do get it and you start reading it and you're like, okay, because I've had this experience, that's why I'm bringing this up in the first place. I've gotten a book. Actually, a couple of these I've actually gotten, and I started reading them, and I thought, why am I reading this? And then I put it down, out of sight, out of mind, I stop. I don't finish it. And then you get to that point in your life where you're like, I need help, right? But you're too afraid to tell somebody that you need help. You're being stubborn, and by you, I'm really saying me, and you just don't want to reach out to anybody, and you think, I got that book. Where's that book? So then you want to rampage and you just start tearing apart your house and you find that book, and that's when you read that book. So even if you just get a couple of these or even just one and you're like, I'm not ready to read this book, that's fine, because eventually you will be ready and you're going to be glad that you did get it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think we can go ahead and close this on up. And if you guys have watched all the way through this, please comment.
Lady balls.
Lady balls. Yes, lady balls in the comments below.
People think I'm crazy. And if you guys do have any suggestions of different types of videos that you want us to do, we love doing these together. And so any ideas or helpful things that you want us to touch base on would be awesome. So
yes.
Thank you for watching. Happy Lady Balls.
Lady balls.
We'll see you guys next time.